What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of SportsTalk Philadelphia. And it's been so long since our last show. We are beyond excited to get in and talk about Philly sports because so much has happened. So let's stop beating around the bush and let's get right into the action.
Probably shot a Rockefeller hover. Now I go to war like a soldier. Yeah. Plus they tried to count me out thinking that it's over. But I got to fight. Rocky Balboa. Yeah, I got to fight like Rocky Balboa. Yeah, I got to fight. Rocky Balboa. Yeah, I got to fight like Rocky Balboa. Rocky Balboa with the fight. Yeah, I got to fight. Yeah,
What's up, everyone? I'm your host, Braden Knapp, and I'm here joined with the star-studded cast as always. Here on my left, Chris Gress. How we doing?
Doing great, man. Excited to be back with everybody.
Definitely. Deja Howe, how we doing?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here with everyone too.
Awesome. Over on the end, how we doing, Jaden?
I'm doing great over here.
Awesome. I know we're ready to talk. We've been talking about this for a long time, and we are excited. So let's get first into it with our Eagles talk. Unfortunately, we all know how that end offensively. It's been bad, pretty much. Unfortunately, they lost offensive sputters in the wild card loss versus the 49ers. Of course, as we all know, they lost in the wild card round 23-19. They scored 6 points in the second half and only 3 points off their turnovers. That's great. And obviously, no really brotherly love as A.J. Brown and Nick Sirianni, as everyone saw, got in a real heated exchange during the game. And then, fireable offense. Of course, our offensive coordinator, Kevin Patullo, has lost his job a couple days ago. Man, that was a game, to say the least, I will say. Ooh, I don't even want to look at the highlights. We won't even look at them. What I will say, it's unfortunate the way we went out. It really did, because, of course, we won last year. But it's just to me, it's just the way we went out to the Niners. I feel as though we did not play as best as we could have. I want to go into you guys because I know you guys all have a lot to say. Chris, let's start with you on this game.
Man, I feel like that game was it was a microcosm of like the entire season. You know, all the issues that plagued the Eagles throughout the entire year were on full display in that game. Like, obviously, AJ, some crucial drops down the stretch. Not that he had a bad season, but, you know, there was a lot of drama surrounding him throughout the entire season. Jake Elliott missing that key extra point early in the game. You know, didn't seem that big in the moment, but, like, all of us probably knew it was going to come and bite him at the end. Of course, the defense kept him in it. I mean, Quinyon, 2 picks, first-team All-Pro, so shout out to him. Can't really – outside of that first drive, he was pretty, locked down throughout the game. Just not a very great way to end the season. Obviously, we wanted more. But, I'll kick it back to you. I mean, I'm sure everyone else has a lot of thoughts as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to go off that. The defense was very good. It's hard to say anything bad about our defense, but we know how the game turned out. Deja, I know you got a lot. I know you got a lot. Let's hear it.
I do. I would have to disagree with the both of you, honestly. I think this was probably the defensive's worst performance all season. Quinyon did have a really good game, but there was a lot of soft coverage. Obviously, Adoree Jackson did Adoree Jackson things. Reed Blankenship didn't play to his potential. Same thing with Coop. So I feel like defensively, they kind of let us down, but they definitely kept us in the game because offense wasn't able to do too much. You mentioned A.J. Brown with the drops. That was a crucial part of the game. And there was just a lot of routes that Devontae Smith, he's designed for them. Why are we pushing A.J. Brown to run those routes, throwing down the field? Just a lot of smart plays that weren't smart and had different people in positions that they shouldn't have been in.
Definitely. I mean, it was kind of like an overall, all around, like, what are we doing in some ways? It was unfortunate. Jaden, how do you feel about this?
Well, I feel like the defense definitely kept us in this game, no doubt about it. After, like, his worst drive ever, Quinyon Mitchell, 2 turnovers that were left us at, the 50? Right, and offense not capitalized on a touchdown for either one. That's just awful right there. And then the game-losing drops potentially on A.J. Brown on the 3rd down. Like, we saw it over there. It was just awful. Like, you've been winning the ball all season, and then it goes right through your hands at the biggest moment of the whole season. And that just sums up the whole 2024 season or 2025 season.
It really does. And that thing with AJ, it just still is so annoying because you You wanted the ball. You went to the media, which you really should never do in the locker room. And then at the end, when you really didn't play very good and you had a couple of drops there, and then you don't talk to the media. I just think all of that with AJ is just messy, and there's really no need for it all, honestly. It's like, obviously you're having a down in production with AJ, but like, you were winning games. My thing with AJ, that one really annoys me, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of waiting to talk about it on here because it's just like, it's almost like, I don't know, what are we doing? He's not going nowhere. He's not going anywhere. But it's like, we got to figure something out, at least going forward. And now I feel like we want to move on from the game. Are we all okay with that? Move on to season review. I was like, I don't want to be on the game for that long.
We're on the same page.
We could talk about that last play because they had a lot of time to discuss a big play. Personally, I feel like Jalen Hurts should have ran it in. He's a running quarterback, but I don't think they would have fully expected it. And we could have got that touchdown. They took plenty of time to talk it over for a play. I don't even know what that was, honestly. It was embarrassing.
You're right. I honestly forgot about that a little bit. It's been a couple weeks now. So it's like, what are we doing? I mean, part of that issue, though, I feel like not all of it's gone, but Patullo is now gone. That's something we'll talk about in a little bit, offensive coordinator. But hopefully there's some things changing for next season. Let's talk about since the season. We'll talk about our 2025 season review. Obviously, the Eagles won the division back-to-back. Got to give them some props there. Let's go. Since the first time since 2003, before I was born. That's a long time. Defensive dominance, 6 points in, only 6 points in allowed for 19.3 points per game. So it's really not too bad. And cornered around excellence, obviously, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, all pros, should be in the Pro Bowl as long as they want to go. I mean, it's really good. Offensive, this is where it just gets bad, though. Offensive struggles, 19th in points, 25 in yards, following their historic 2024 season. I just don't know what the HE double hockey sticks happened to our offense, to be honest with you. I get with the line. There was obviously lots of injuries there, and I don't want Fred Johnson or Tyler Steen in on the line either. But, like, really? I don't know. I go to you guys on this. I just feel like I was kind of like dumbfounded by how bad the offense just was this year.
Absolutely. I mean, especially the O-line. I mean, it's brutal. I mean, not having Lane Johnson over the majority of the year. I mean, their stats with like him on the field versus him off the field, they're just a night and day team. He's one of the best players to ever play for the Eagles franchise. So that stunk. But as far as the other issues, like we mentioned some of the free agents coming up. I mean, Dallas Goedert's a free agent. That I think they got to work out a deal to bring him back. He had a really solid year this year. I mean, I feel like every other game or most of the time he was scoring once, if not twice. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns in the game against the Niners. But yeah, I mean, the line overall wasn't the best, as strong as it usually is. That's usually Stoutland University. As far as, I mean, the offensive coordinator, there's a bunch of different options. We'll get to that a little bit later, but yeah, I mean, just overall, not bad. Winning the division back-to-back, first time in like 20 years, but overall, could have been a better year.
What do you think, Deja? How's this year overall?
It obviously could have been a much better year. They could have gotten rid of Patullo earlier in the year, but from listening to Sirianni and everyone in the back room saying that they like to give their offensive coordinators autonomy, so they don't want to step in. But at some point, it's like we're losing games. We're not even playing to our full potential, and this doesn't even look like a team that was in the Super Bowl last year.
100%. I mean, I completely agree with you. It's like, you were in the Super Bowl? Wait, these guys won last year? Don't look like it.
Best teams ever.
Yeah. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? Jaden, real quick, how was the year for you?
Well, to go off what Deja just said, I don't think they should have gotten rid of Kevin Patullo earlier in the year, because we saw what happened when they changed offensive and defense coordinators in 2023. That's when the full collapse just happened. So I think they did the right decision just letting him stick it out, but clearly offense coordinator Kevin Patullo, that's not his position right there.
Definitely not. And let's real quickly talk about the offseason outlook. Obviously, what's next for the Eagles offense? We don't know, but we want to see something happen. A.J. Brown's time has run out. We'll see on that. And the key free agents, obviously, is Dallas Goedert, Reed Blankenship, Nakobe Dean, and Jalen Phillips. There's a lot of good guys there. I'm sure we want to bring them back. And obviously, roster needs offensive line, secondary, yes. And I would also say a new kicker. I don't know about you guys, but I think Elliott has his time is done in Philly. At least that's me. What are we thinking?
I mean, as far as Jake Elliott, I think he'll be back, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we shall see, especially with Elliott. And unfortunately, that is all the time we have for the Eagles. Let's hope going forward, some of these offseason moves are better, and let's hope they get their team better for next season. Now let's talk about our Sixers. Man, the Sixers. Maxey and his potential. What? Dude, Tyrese Maxey's been amazing. Tyrese Maxey has been named an all-star starter for the first time in his career. It's amazing. Good job, Maxey. Obviously, second all-star ever, but being a starter now, awesome. And Swiper is swiping. Maxey notched 8 steals in their win against the Pacers a couple nights ago. And then, unfortunately, Jared McCain, who we talked about for a little bit now, has not been very good, and he has been sent down to the G League to play with the Blue Coats. And this has happened regularly, unfortunately. But let's go away from the McCain a little bit, something more positive. Tyrese Maxey, I mean, we got to give him the keys. This is his team now. I mean, he's so fun to watch, isn't he, Deja? Yeah. He's fun to watch. How do you feel about Maxey being an all-star starter?
Well, we all know how much I love Maxey, but you can really see, like you said, he controls the court. When he's on the court, there's so much movement and fluidity going on, which I love to see. And VJ is just feeding off of him. We saw in that last game he put up 25 points, the most points, more than Maxey. So he's just helping him grow, and they just look so good without Embiid on the court.
Well, that's the thing now. Now that Embiid and PG are back, it's a kind of weird, interesting dynamic, because for a little bit there, they didn't win a game with Maxey, Embiid, and Paul George all playing at the same time, which not really shocking. But now I feel like they've kind of gone out of that a little bit. They're still like a kind of 500, a little bit of a team. But they have a kind of interesting dynamic, don't they, Jaden? I mean, Paul George, VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and Embiid, it's something, to say the least.
Well, when VJ and Tyrese Maxey are on the court, they're the best players on the Sixers, but that leads to Jared McCain being an odd man out, which we've talked about. But honestly, I think it's also Joel Embiid being an odd man out, because those two go together, right? But Embiid hasn't been the Joel Embiid we've known. So, in my opinion, right, that it's all obvious he's not the guy he used to be, not the MVP anymore. So that's my thing. So I think he's trying to be the number one when he has to accept it's Maxey and soon to be VJ as well.
It's a weird dynamic, because I've obviously watched. I just went to their Cavs game when they got killed. So it's been interesting to watch, and I will say it's kind of weird. I don't want to give it all off of Embiid, even though I've been a big Embiid hater, because he's not been terrible, completely terrible. And I know Chris is still on the Embiid train. I'm gonna let him talk and defend Embiid here.
Well, no, okay, I agree with you guys. It's obviously Maxey's team now. He's the number one option, but Joel Embiid's one of the best stories in the league right now. Like, I mean, everyone thought he was completely cooked. Everyone thought his career was over. He's averaging 27. He's averaging the most points among centers in the Eastern Conference. He's clearly the number 2 behind Maxey right now. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just watching something different, but Joel's been more than above average in the past however many games. He's been playing. He's been on the floor. He's been playing pretty much every game outside of back-to-backs. I really have. I mean, no, guys, I'm not gonna have a complaint about Joel, but like he's been great so far, and he's really elevated the ceiling of this team. And the fact that he's the second option now to Maxey just elevates the ceiling of the Sixers to a completely different level, in my opinion. I think he should be an all-star the way he's been playing, maybe off the bench.
See, that's it. So I know Jay wants to say something. Go ahead.
But I will say, I was at the game as well with Braden at the Cavs. He was the best player there. Like I thought they were way better when Embiid was on the court, but still, when Embiid was the best player on the court, they got blown out by like 30. So
yeah, it's Maxey's team, but I mean, it's a second option. That just makes them a lot better.
It's funny because the two of them. I feel like my opinion on Embiid is like where you get, because he now has like a little bit more turnovers than he used to be. Well, he's slow. He's had a lot of injuries. My only thing I think with Embiid is like he's still trying to be Embiid, and his body is just like no, bro. Like because he's still like he's not a bad player. He's still very good. It's puzzling, and I wonder how the Embiid is going to play against these next couple opponents here, which we need to get into upcoming schedule, because we got some teams coming up. They have coming up here against at home 2 home games versus the Rockets, January 22nd, and then following that we have here playing against the Knicks. That's always a tough one, and then go to Charlotte, play the Hornets. That would be something. But interesting, Deja, how do you think Embiid and the rest of these guys are going to play?
I truly feel like it does matter how many points he's putting up because it's obviously adding to the score. But defensively, he's not doing the best, and that's where we really need him going up for those rebounds. You just mentioned these games coming up. The first 2, defense is going to be a big thing. We need to get those rebounds so that we can stay up, because I've noticed it's been a pattern that we're up so many points and then our defense slows down and they take over. So honestly, as long as we keep our defense up, we have a chance of winning those first 2. I think it's a definite for the Hornets, in my opinion.
It should be, but this is the Sixers we are talking about. They could go in and beat the Rockets and Knicks and then get blown out by the Hornets. So we don't really know, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have. And let's see next week how they do. Now moving on to the Phillies, we have the off-season updates. Now, unfortunately, Suarez signs a 5-year deal with the Red Sox, a 5-year $130. Oh, we lost on it, but the Phils do retain both JT Realmuto and Kyle Schwarber. Obviously signing big deals. JT signed a 3-year for, I believe, for 45, and obviously Schwarber got paid a 5-year, 100-something million. He got a lot. And then the Phils, unfortunately, lose out on Bo Bichette, who signs with the Mets. That's something we have to talk about that right away. Because the whole offseason, we have all the Phillies insiders be like, oh, yeah, Bo Bichette, that's a Phil. He's going to be a Philly, 100%. And then all of a sudden, one day, I look on my phone, Mets notification, these sons of jerks. I hate the Mets. I do not like the Mets anymore. I really hate them. Chris, I know you're with me on this one with Bo Bichette, man.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I mean, when the offseason started, Bo Bichette wasn't even in the picture. But then as it kept going and the JT stuff kept being dragged out, you were like, oh, wow, are the Phillies going to get Bo Bichette? Are they going to get like another bat that's going to be inserted 1 through 4? But nope, the Mets swoop in at the last hour, and Steve Cohen, with all his unlimited money, just gives him, honestly, it's kind of an insane contract for Bichette, but still annoying. I mean, but back to the getting Realmuto and Schwarber back, we all kind of predicted this. We all were saying Schwarber was going to be back, JT was going to be back. Stinks losing Ranger, but he's a legend here forever. Got nothing but positive things to say about Ranger. Just always rose in the biggest moments for the Phillies. Wish him nothing but the best with the Red Sox, but still stung a little bit seeing that notification, him leaving Philadelphia.
It stung a little bit. It definitely stung a little bit. Deja, how are we feeling the Phil's offseason moves?
Yeah, I was really sad about Ranger. That was very upsetting, but it was definitely expected keeping JT. I do feel like management slipped through the cracks a little bit with Bo. I don't know how that happens because, like you, I thought he was going to be on our team. But as long as we have Schwarber, I'm excited. He's just the one that I was really rooting for because I know there was talks about him going back to play for his hometown, so I'm glad he's here.
We're glad Schwarbaum's back. We all love Schwarby. And then how do we feel about all the offseason moves the Phil's made?
Feeling good, honestly. Like bringing back JT, like me and Chris said it on the show before, that JT was, I think, the #1 priority on free agency for re-signing because there was no other catcher in free agency on the level of JT. So that was just huge to get. But then it's like also questioning who are the Phillies going to bring in to, go over that next level, because the Phillies are stuck at this, like they're competitive, but they're also like when it comes to the playoffs, the bats just get dry.
That's perfect, Jaden. That's what this whole offseason, I was sitting back as a nice Phillies fan waiting for them to sign someone, and then it's just like, I love the Schwarber, obviously, and obviously JT. He's catching, especially defensively, he's amazing. But like, that's it. Like, we got nothing else. So it's annoying because baseball, obviously, the bigger market teams are just going to win. Phils have that market. They have the funds and I believe the assets to be able to go make something. So it's a little annoying. I feel like they didn't do anything too crazy. How do you feel?
I mean, yeah. Obviously, they didn't get the huge fish outside of bringing back Schwarber, but Adolis Garcia is a low-risk, potentially high-reward move. It's the exact same contract they gave Kepler, and I think I think he's better than Max Kepler. So intrigued to see what Adolis can bring, because that was their one, semi-big move. And they got Brad Keller, who is a pretty good reliever who will bolster the bullpen.
Yeah, thank you for reminding that. I forgot about Garcia. That will be very fun to watch. But with that, that is all we have for the Phils. Now let's get into one of our favorite segments. That is Sports Talk Philly First Take. With our first question, we alluded it to earlier, and that is, who should be the Eagles' offensive coordinator? Who we think? I'm gonna let you guys cook first.
All right, I'll start. I'll just say, because of all the ties he has with the Eagles and all the specific players, I would be intrigued if they brought in Brian Daboll. I think because he coached Hurts in college, obviously coached Saquon when he was with the Giants. Devontae was also on that team with Jalen. I just think that would be a really, really interesting move, and I think it would. Obviously, I think he'd be better than Patullo. Captain Obvious here. I think all of us think that. But I don't know. I think it would fit the mold really well. I think him and Sirianni would. I don't think Sirianni would have a problem giving him autonomy of the offense, like Deja mentioned earlier about the Eagles OC getting that autonomy. But for me, I'll say Daboll. But I really don't think there's a wrong answer here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's a wrong answer. I went with Mike McDaniels. I think offensively he would call really good plays. I also feel like based off his personality, him and Jalen Hurts would work very well together because those are the main two that have to be on the same page at all times. So
Stinks he went to the Chargers, because that would have been great. I like McDaniels well.
it's not official.
Okay,
not official. Okay.
They say what is he they put in there? The NFL insiders were like, as long as he wants to or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
does he not want a job? I don't know what that means.
I don't think he wants the Philly weather.
No, he probably wants to go to LA. He's like, I'm saying.
He just blend in.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Jaden, what are we thinking?
Well, those two were my first two candidates, but then now they're both gone because it's rather Daboll's going to the Bills or he's going to the Titans.
Yeah.
McDaniels is going to the Chargers. But I say we steal somebody from Sean McVay, who's the best offensive-minded guru in the league, and Nate Steelhauser, he's the Rams' passing offensive coordinator, and I think that's just the route to go to. Newer guy from the Sean McVay tree line. Yeah, that. It's all impressive from there. So I say grab him and, work in with my opinion, second an MVP right now, but
I like that.
I actually do like that, Jaden, because obviously all the names we've heard is Dave Ball and some of the other guys who already have gotten jobs. We didn't spin out there, but I kind of like that, Jaden. I kind of like that because, I don't hate Brian Daboll, and obviously he has connection with them. That's probably who I would say, but I honestly might even change my answer go off of that because I kind of want someone new a little bit, and that'd be obviously a promotion a little bit. I wouldn't hate something like that, honestly. Yeah. To be honest, maybe it's not in-house like Patullo, but I would
agree.
You guys saw. Apparently, he didn't. Well, they said if he wants to come back, he'll have a role within the organization still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
a
don't know
smaller
what they
role.
mean by it.
He was on the staff when they won the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
they might keep him in-house. I know Sirianni likes him.
We'll put him somewhere far.
Yeah.
Oh. So with that, as we talked about that, now we can get into our second one. It's a fun one here. Is the Schwarber deal? Is Kyle Schwarber deal? I don't want to say worth it, but this is how we want to talk about it. I'll say what I had to say first. I love Schwarber. I have my Phil Schwarber jersey. I love Schwarber. I just think giving him a 5-year deal is crazy. I just think because this man is already at the end of his career. He's already going down, and then it's not like the Paul George contract, but it's this man is going to be on your team for 5 years. There's no way this man's hitting 50, 40 home runs in the third season, I think. I don't know. I'm especially not a baseball guy like that. I was just maybe 5 was a little too long. I was thinking maybe a 3-year, 100. Give him $200 million. I don't care about the money. I don't care about the money. I just thought the years were a little interesting.
I see your point of what does Kyle Schwarber look like at 37, 38? But he's just such an outlier, man. Every year he's been with the Phillies, he's gotten better. From 2022 to now, his WAR has gone up every season, which just means he's that much better than like a replacement player, excuse me. He had 56 home runs last year, obviously not expecting him to do that again, but I mean, I think 40 is pretty fair. He's done that pretty much every year he's been with the Phillies. And he's just such a unique player. Like, he never gets hurt. He played all 162 last year. I think a more interesting debate is, like, obviously we needed JT back and what other catcher we were going to pivot to, but $15 million a year for Real Muto is kind of absurd, but I think Schwarber's worth every cent, and I wouldn't be surprised if he hits 50 home runs again. But what do you guys think?
Schwarber's the most consistent hitter on the team. Yeah. Bryce Harper, Trey Turner, they get paid big bucks, and I would say more towards postseason. They're a little inconsistent, but 5 years definitely is a little too long, because by 3 to 4 years, he's going to be, at his wit's end with his age. So,
I feel like it's worth it for now, especially since Kyle Schwarber is like, he was just in MVP talks last year. Yeah, he was second at
Finished
MVP.
Finished second behind Ohtani.
Yeah. So being behind Shohei Ohtani in anything is impressive. So I feel like it's definitely worth it for the Phillies to give Schwarber that contract.
Absolutely.
That's my thing. I'm sounding like such a hater, and I don't want to be, because he is worth it. Give him $300 million. I don't care. It's just the 5 years.
You're saying the back end. That's fair.
Yeah, the back end.
I see that the back end.
It's just the back end, business-wise. I just feel like, I don't know. But that you need to bring him back.
Yeah. No, it's just like, because the power is just, it's like what Deja said. Yeah. He was the offense last year, and ideally you're hoping Harper's back to being his. I mean, I always think Harper's elite. Dave Dombrowski, those quotes were interesting, saying Harper's wearing a shirt that said not elite. Maybe that'll fire him up, get Harper back in the MVP track. I kind of love that. But Schwarber, he's just, and the guys, the way they talk about him in the clubhouse, I think that's just like one of the biggest factors. It's like he's the leader. Like, even though Harper will be the best player at times, Turner, like, Schwarber is the guy in the clubhouse, and they look to him when things are going low. So I don't know. Schwarber's just the man. I think he's worth every cent.
I think that Harper should take a lesson from A.J. Brown. Stay out the media. Keep your opinions to yourself.
Yeah.
Until you can prove it after the season, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that is all the time we have on today's episode. Thank you, and thank you for watching, and please check out all socials at SportsTalk LTV on X and Instagram. There is a lot happening in the Philly sports world, and I know next week we're going to have a lot more to talk about. Let's hope it's more positive this time. We all knew it was going to be a little bit more negative with the Eagles, but thank you for watching, and stay tuned the next time. Thank you. Well, let's see if I got better at this. Nope, I hit the TV.
Whoa, that was so close.
Oh my.